Good morning, my friends. I don't know what's a good place to sit. I don't know where's the best place for light. I'm so dark. I can actually go directly to the light, but I don't know the best place to sit. Good morning. This is my morning. I normally try to catch you guys. What time is it? I normally try to catch you guys before you make it to whatever churches you decide to go to, and share a little bit there. I actually have no opportunity to do that. I'm trying to just find, I know if I sit here, here's the deal. If I sit, where's the sun? If I sit here, we get all the sun we need, but I don't have a chair, so let's get a chair. Let's get a chair. Yeah. We're gonna get a chair and we're gonna sit here. Yeah, we're gonna sit here. Yeah, we're gonna sit here. I don't know if that's gonna give you guys any better sight. I don't know. I can't see you unless I do this. Yeah, I can't see you. So I'm trying to find a place where we have enough light that you can see me. And it's just not working. Hey, just not working. So let's take our chair and go over here. Let's get totally out the sun. Let's get totally out the sun. And then let's sit. Am I totally out the sun? Yeah, not working. Good morning, good morning. You can see me? I'm glad you can see me. I don't know, I'm trying to find a place, guys. You know what? This is gonna be back in the building. I guess I have to go back in the building. I wanted to show y'all this beautiful view, but since I'm here, I'm gonna do that while I'm here. Yeah. This is where I am. Yeah. This is where I am. I decided to come and sit up on the rooftop. Over there, my friends, is Charlotte. That's Charlotte. Uh-huh. That's where we are. So I'm just kind of deciding I was going to take a little bit of a seat and kind of relax. So I'm just dark. Y'all got to just deal with that. I'm just dark. I'm dark. Okay. I'm just dark. And this white shirt's not helping. The white shirt is definitely not helping. So a lot of you have come through to hear what I've had to say about relationships. So it's gonna be a little dark because I'm up in the sun. A lot of you have come to hear what I have said about relationships, but today is my spiritual day. I want to talk about some things. Yeah, got about 30 minutes. We'll talk about some things. So this is my Bible today. I didn't bring my Bible because I'm up by the thing. Now, here's the deal. Because of my white shirt, I cannot see any of your writings, your typings, or anything like that. So if you have a question, go to the question box and say, I have a question. You don't have to write the whole question out because I know the question box doesn't give you the entirety of the question. But I want to say that hopefully you guys have gone to my Instagram and said stop giving away your benefits. Hopefully, your TikTok is going to stop giving away your benefits. I'm going to keep that series going for a lot of you because a lot of you have lost benefits because you've given committed benefits to non-committed people. And I mean that from men to women. A man will go and buy them all the clothes, buy all the stuff, and then she goes with another man. There has to come a level of commitment, and that commitment cannot come through carnal means. Now, what I mean by carnal means, just because they say they're committed, especially with men, ladies, just because they say they're committed doesn't mean they're committed. With a woman, it's a little different. But with a man, you have to look at his actions. And his actions, because what men look for, and a lot of y'all gonna get a little upset with me, what men tend to look for is a woman that is either having daddy issues or is desperate. That is why I'm working on a series called The Things Your Dad Never Told You. Because women will be amazed at how many men will change their tune if there's a real dad involved. I'll never forget, I was in Atlanta, and she's one of the friends that I follow. I mean, that follows me. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can catch her. I don't see her picture here, but she's one of the people that follows me, and she was she calls me dad. That's just who she is. She calls me dad all the time. And so she was talking to me. There she is, right there. And I wasn't feeling well. And so she was talking to me on the phone. So I wasn't feeling well, and I said, "Sweetie, would you do me a favor? While you are at the store, pick me some chicken noodle soup." I don't know why we thought chicken noodle soup heals everything. So I said, "Pick me some chicken noodle soup up." She said, "Okay." So while she's on the phone, a young man comes by her. He walks by, and he go, "Hey, what's up, girl?" And he's talking to her. Now she's on the phone talking to me, but he doesn't say anything. He says that. So she says nothing politely and keeps on moving. So a couple of minutes later, he says something else. Now she's still on the phone. She's not got off the phone with me. And so she says to him, she said, "Look," she said, "Bro, what you doing?" She said, "I'm on the phone." She said, "Well, who you on the phone with?" And first of all, I'm like, "Wait a minute, who, what?" She said, she said, "I'm on the phone with my dad." He said, "Your dad's still alive?" She said, "Yes, I'm on the phone with my dad. This is my dude. He's not feeling well, so I'm making sure he's okay." Ladies, I'm listening to this. You would be amazed at how the tune changes when that took place. Listen, when there is a man in your life, not a man that you're sleeping with, not a man that you after, when there is a man in your life, this is the position that a dad was supposed to take. When there's a man in your life that they know has your back, you would be amazed at the tune that men change. You don't know that because a lot of the dads, that's one of the things. When a lot of the dads are out of the house, and have a dad that has authority and a dad that knows the Spirit of God. Guys, look, I told you guys, I'm 6'6", 280. I'm a wide brother. Woo, almost dropped my keys. I'm a wide brother. I'm a big brother. I'm a big brother. And so what happens is, when he has to go through somebody else to get to you, and a man that knows, see, game recognize game. And so she said, "Dad, he just kind of backed up." I said, "Right, because I'm a guy. We will attack women that are weak. And weak doesn't mean you're not equal to me. Weak means I know you don't have a back." See, what women have to understand is when you realize that your physical is not your defense or your offense, that your spiritual is it, and there's somebody that has you in their mind, you realize when Ephesians says washing her with the cleansing her with the washing of the word. Our position is what men have to understand. They don't understand, and men, there are very few men on this planet that don't respect that position. That is why I have spiritual daughters. I have little sisters. Why? Because the one thing you have to realize is if there is a position of authority in your life, this is why I'm real big on daughters. If there's a position of authority in your life and there's somebody that says, "I got your back," you would be amazed how differently some of your relationships will be. It will blow your mind because you'll be like, "Wow!" Because what happens is you are being positioned you're a position as if to say, "I can't. Nobody got your back. I got your back." So what a man will do is, "I got your back," and and until you said, "No, my dad got my back." What? My dad has my back. When you tell a man you got to go by my dad before you can have me, ladies, I'm telling you, your whole relationship change. Your whole game will change. So when I'm here giving you the authority to say, I've got it. There's a step ahead there's a step between you getting me. I keep hitting this thing. There's a step between you getting me. When I say a man shouldn't love a woman more than a woman loves a man, I mean, a woman shouldn't love a man more than a man loves a woman, there's a thing to that. Why? Because I've got to cover you. My job is to cover you. My job is to put you in a position where you feel like you know where your position is. But what has happened is most men have put you in a position where you are submissive to them and not submissive to the the purpose. When you understand that, you understand when I say, "Sweetie, stay in your position," I'm not saying that you're less than me. I'm saying get behind me because I got this fight. I got this battle. And when I say I want to teach women the things that that dads never taught them. Do you know my dad never none of my sisters got abused until they decided to go where they wanted to go. But you better not say that. My dad will take a axe handle and go after a man in a minute. That's the thing. My daughters know. Don't play. don't play with my dad. Why? Because see, when you understand how to be a good dad, you can be a good husband. If you understand how to be a good husband, then you put together purpose, and she has somebody she can follow. You follow me? It's not about you going, hey, get in your position. You better get in your position. Get in the kitchen. It's not about being in the kitchen. It's not about being pregnant. It's about the fact that there need to be men that raise up in this world that say, listen, don't put your hands, don't put your mouth, and don't you try to control this sister. I will never forget, there was a young lady that I was talking to, and she was talking to me about her relationship with her husband. And I said, what's the problem? She said, I'm tired of him. She said, I'm tired of him. Now, she didn't call me dad at the time. She calls me dad now, calls me on a weekly basis. Hey, dad. She said, I'm tired of this man doing whatever he was doing. And I said, what are you doing? And she said, well, he won't go anywhere. I'm just leaving. I'm just going to leave. And I said, so let me see if I got this straight. Because see, listen, as a dad, my job is not to just tell you, oh, I got you, daughter. My job is also to tell you, look, you're wrong. You're just wrong. I'm sorry. When we do counseling, my wife and I do couples counseling, that's the position. I sit in that counseling position and go, listen, you're wrong. That's wrong. So I'm sitting down and talking to her. I said, how long you guys been married? She said, 15 years. I said, have you ever had work? She said, no. I work? I said, do you have to work? She said, no. I said, has he ever fooled around on it? She goes, no. I went through about 5 or 6 questions. And she said, no to all the questions. I said, okay, I understand what's wrong. She said, what's wrong? I said, you're selfish. She said, what? I said, you're selfish. She said, I said, you're selfish. I said, this man's giving you his life for 15 years, but because he doesn't act the way you want to act, after 15 years, you decide you're going to leave. She said, wow. I said, see, you got to realize this is a system. This isn't just what you do the way you want to do, I do the way that I want to do. This is a system. And when you understand the system, then you understand what's really going on. You don't understand the system. I said, you need to take your tail back home and tell that man I apologize and get yourself together. She didn't listen. She left. She was staying in the apartment by herself. She was taking care of all of her bills, and it became a struggle. And I sat down with her as a dad, and I said, listen, sweetie. I said, I'm going to tell you something. Because from that point on, she called me dad. She said, yes, dad. I said, you need to go home. I said, I'm very protective of my daughters. Very protective. I said, I'm protective of you, and I won't let nobody hurt you. I said, but certain things make sense. You need to go home. She was out for about 6 months, 3 months. You need to go home. You need to repent to that man and go home. Why? Because he loves you. Just because teach him what you like. Show him what you like. Lady, she went home. She's home now. He turned into the greatest man in the world. He's got a ministry now. He has the homeless. They go out. He goes out more than she goes out now. See, you need a dad in your life. Now, that's not why I came on here to talk about. That is not what I came on to talk about. You need a dad in your life. And the reason you need a dad in your life, because a true man is a defense mechanism against the wolves out there. Some of you are dealing with scavengers, some of you are dealing with, and I wrote this on go down to my links and you'll see this. Some of you are dealing with scavengers, some of you are dealing with opportunists, and others you are dealing with predators. But why? Because a dad can see a predator. A man can see another predator. Now, you are so in love. That's why God says you don't love, because your love attaches and it blinds you. A woman's love attaches and it blinds us. Do you know God's love is blind to your sin? Do you know God's love is blind to your sin? God loves you so much that he doesn't see your sin. Look at Corinthians. He said, who doesn't impute their sins against them. God says, I throw your sins in the sea of forgetfulness. God is blind to your sin. Once you have come to him, he just sees his child coming back, the prodigal child. A woman's love is blind because it's that kind of strong. So that's why a man's love has to be stronger than yours, so she can be blind. She don't have to see the bad. She don't have to see the negative. I'm not saying the world is roses and candy. What I'm saying to you is there's a position that a man should stand in, and when we as men begin to stand in that position over every woman, not just the women that we're dating, not just the women around her, over every woman, we will see this world change. Because that's the attack that we're missing out on. The attack we're missing out on is the fact that they're attacking women, because if they get the women, which is the power, they can struggle, they can get the men to struggle. So they're attacking you. That's what every one of these things that when you start looking at society and saying, wait a minute, that's attacking men. That's attacking women. That's attacking women. Check this out. And I told you this is not what I was going to talk about today. I really was not going to talk about this. I was going to talk about Ephesians. Let me get my little trusty Bible out so I can go to it if I want to go to it. Yeah, I was going to talk about Ephesians. See, that's what it is. I was going to go to Ephesians. Let me tell you something. So look at this. I want you to look at this logically. So women are dealing with feminism. They're dealing with homosexuality. They're dealing with men in prison. They're dealing with men, unfaithful men. That's what women are dealing with. Now, check this out. Check this out. If a man decides he doesn't like being a man, he wants to be a woman, but he wants to play sports. A woman who spent all her life trying to be a track star now has to fight against a man to be that track star. Because women, if pound for pound, you're not going to match your man. That's just the way it is. You're not built to match a man. Now, I know that sounds chauvinistic, but here's my point. I'm making a point now. So that means, but if a woman decides to be a man, she's not going to fight against other men. Why? Because pound for pound, we're built differently. So if a woman changes over to become a man, a man changes over to be a woman, you now have lost your vision. You've been wanting to run the Olympics all your life. You've been wanting to play basketball, and all of a sudden now you not only got to deal with women, you got to deal with men being in your sport. Homosexuality, same situation. You not only got to deal with women on top of women, men on top of men. Why? Because the power that you are, and I'm sorry guys, the power that you're operating in, that power is that you carry the power. So if I structure all this stuff to dilute your power, and then I shift you to saying, oh my God, you're just show me, drop it like it's hot, clap it, your dances, everything disrespects the woman's power. It doesn't disrespect the man's power. Why? Because when you twerking and doing all that kind of stuff, it's working right into a man's hand. He loves it. Why? Because the key becomes you've got to tear down the respect of the power if you want to defeat the being. I got to decrease your power if I want to defeat the being. And the best way to decrease our power, listen, and no, I'm not going down that road. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say that. You don't do that. So when I start talking about all these different things that are going on, a man in a woman's life is she is the balance of his life. That's it. My job is not to sleep with you, try to do all that. That's not my job. What my job is to do is to give you the power to be what you are called to be, because your position strengthens my movement. That's it. But see, we don't teach that. Why? Because we're caught in some kind of a relationship religion. And when we get caught in the relationship religion, we start talking about these different things, and we start dealing with these different things, and nobody ever said, my job for you, if you have a man in your life, you should never wonder your position. No. If you have a man in your life, you can go to a real man, not a boy, because some of y'all dealing with these boys. If you have a real man in your life, your position should never be questioned. You should never have to question your position. Because if you go to man, you call up Uncle Dallas. You call up Uncle Dallas. Understand something. And every man on here, you can get upset, it's okay. When you call up Uncle Dallas, number one, I'm defense. I'm defense, period. When you come to me, number one, you are already correct. That's just the way women are. When you come to, I'm sorry, there's people come, I don't want to walk behind the camera. When you come to me, number one, you're already correct. When you explain to me the challenge, what you got to realize is, because you're the power, I'm going to look at the truth so that I can tell you the truth. Why? Because you got to maintain your position as one that's powerful on this planet. If you don't, the planet is off center. Has anybody been looking around? We don't have prayer in schools. Children are just running all crazy. Why? Because you broke up the power. So now you have women that are loving kids and making sure, because what you're now doing is putting yourself in a position where you are structured in a position of weakness instead of a position of strength. And why is that? Because men are not in position. Now, here's what I'm saying. You as a woman should never have to wonder your position. You come to me and say, listen, I just met this guy. We've been dating for 5 years. I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. Number one, what is he doing for you? Not spiritually, not emotionally. What is he physically doing for you? Second question, do you guys live together? First, what's he doing for you? Do you guys live together? Number three, how does he make you feel when he's around? Now, hear me very closely, ladies. Hear me very, very closely. How he makes you feel is not the feeling that you adapt because you like him. But how does he make you feel if you do absolutely nothing for him? You don't sleep with him, you don't feed him, you don't do anything for him. How does he make you feel if those things are happening? Because that's what I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you those three questions. I'm gonna ask you number one, what does he do for you? Number two, does he live with you? And number three, how does he make you feel if you don't do nothing for him? Now, why am I gonna ask those questions? Because what he does for you determines his direction of life. I know men are task oriented. What he does for you determines his direction. Now, buying stuff for you is not a show of love. Buying stuff for you is not a show of love. It may be a show of appreciation. It may be a show of movement, but it is not a show of love. Why? He buys stuff for his car. Buying stuff is not a show of love. Supporting your movement and involving you in the movement of his life is a show of love. You follow me? Picking you up at 9 o'clock at night, taking you out and coming and having sex with you, that is not a show of love. It is not a show of love. When a man y'all got a peep game, I'm trying to help you. When a man buys you something, he should be buying you something in line with what he's doing for you. I bought my wife, when we got married, I told you guys, let's go, maybe I might have to go into the building. Okay, come on, Wayne, stop. Thank you, Father. When I got married, we did not have the finances that we have now. And we're not wealthy. I mean, we're not rich by any stretch of the imagination. But I was not able to buy a ring. The moment I came to a place financially to buy a ring, I bought my wife a ring. I bought her a ring that she's proud of, and if you ever see her, she'll see her wearing it because she loves it so much. Buying her a ring was in line with me wanting to love her. So buying her a ring wasn't a way to shut her up. Some of you are accepting gifts from men just to shut you up. What he buys should be in line with where he's going. Let me let you look at my eyes. What he's buying should be in line with where he's going. What he's buying should not be something just to make you look at him as a hero. What he's buying should line up with where he's going. His actions should lead you in a path. You follow me? His actions should not make you feel like, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know where is he going with this? What does he say? I don't understand. His actions should never do that. If his actions do that, he wants it that way. He wants you to be confused. He wants you to do that. Why? Because that puts him in a position of control, because we think controlling you is what makes us what we are. But that's not. That's not. Controlling you is not the key. Connecting with you is the key. Because I have a daughter right now, and I don't know if she's on or not. I have a daughter right now, and everything she doesn't have to, but everything my daughter goes, Dad, what do you need? 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 I have a business outside of this. I have a company. I'm not focusing everything on this right now, on the focus of making sure the word gets out and the power gets out and all this kind of stuff. But she asks, Dad, what do you do? What do you need? Why? Because that's the natural inclination. But the key becomes, I don't want to put her in a position where she has to feel like she's obligated to something, because that puts her in a position of control. I don't need to control her. But as she begins to see my vision, I see her vision. Yes, she can help with the vision, but I should always be the forerunner of the vision. A lot of you ladies you're making the vision happen. He's not making the vision happen. That's called a child. A child. You make the child get up and walk. Your children don't just get up and start walking. You make the child walk. And because you make the child walk, the child walks. Your job is not to create the vision. Your job is to follow the vision he's created. So we believe You're supposed to be controlled. We're supposed to control you. We're supposed to tell you what to do. That's not the way the Bible has it. That's not the way it should be done, and that's not the most effective way for it to happen. You have to understand your position, and your position is not under me. Your position is not even behind me. Your position is not a position physically. It's a spiritual position. And what that spiritual position says, wherever you need to be to stay in the right defense, that's where you stand. If I'm here and I'm about to fight, if I'm here and I'm about to fight, your position is to get behind me so that I can defend you. If I'm here and I'm about to sign a contract for $1 million, your position is to be beside me. If I'm here and I need to understand something, then your position becomes in front of me. See, it's about position. If I don't understand accounting and you understand accounting, you take the forefront. You follow me? Because we want you to be under us. That's not the position. That's never been God's desire for you. Never been his desire for you. But what happens is you take the men out of it, and so when you get to a man, you're in defense. And so you're starting to try to defend yourself. And then that position that you try to defend yourself on, that position is the position where you're now in conflict with something you're supposed to be connected with. You follow me? Now, yes, I'm gonna do my very best to make this video, put this video on my YouTube so you guys can go over it. Why? Oh my God, I got about 5 more minutes. Why? Because what you have to understand is power has to always have structure. See, most of you don't understand you're powerful. But the problem is, or the challenge, I don't believe in problems. I believe everything is a challenge. The challenge is you guys don't have structure. And you go, yeah, I got, See, there's structure for what you want, and then there's structure for movement. Most men have structure, but they don't have power. So now a man has do you hear those things? Behind every great man there's a woman. Why? Because a woman understands the power. And the power comes in the fact that you love something. So you don't have structure. So yeah, I do have structure. You have structure for what you want, but you don't have structure for what you need. I mean, structure for what you need, but you have structure for what you want. That's why there's single women that haven't gone out of the country before, that seem like they can't find men because they don't understand the structure. My job as a man is to explain structure to you. It's to explain to you that structure is how you do it. So how do you structure your life to meet a man? Accounting, business, and family structure. You structure your life that way. Why? Because that will attract. Because who you are is a spiritual attraction. It's not a physical attraction. Oh my God, I wish I could hear that one. You're spiritually attractive. Your spirit. That's why you go, why are there times? Because there'll be times where certain men will attract to you and certain men will be around you, and then sometimes you can put on the most beautiful dress and don't nobody say nothing to you. Why? Because yours is a spiritual. So what we had to do in society is take you from your spiritual attraction to make you physically attractive. So now you can get your butts blown up, your lips blown up, and you notice every time you see those things go bad, because what happens is when you start establishing physical traits to attract men, you pull them from spiritual to primitive. I used to say it like this, from intelligence to instinct. When you got a man that's trying to look at you physically, you pull him from intelligence to instinct. Instinct is, as a big butt goes by, we turn. You follow me? And so what you do is you reduce it. Now, I ain't got a problem with that. Do what you want to do. That's on you. Because remember, my job is to create a structure for you so that you can live the life that you want. But I'm telling you, sweetheart, when you pull a man from intelligence and to instinct, you don't have a good man anymore. You have an animal, a beast. I know. Uncle, I was just making things so uncomfortable. I just want a man. I just want somebody to love me. No, you don't, darling. You want peace. And because we've defined peace by having something in our lives that we can hold on to, then women are having children because they believe that's what they need to hold on to. And then now we've started the cycle all over again. Because right now, if I told all of you, okay, I'm gonna do a YouTube video, not a YouTube video, I'm gonna do a Zoom video, and I'm gonna tell you all the things you need to know. I would gain, I'm gonna say it's over about 200 something people here. I would gain about 50 people. The other ones, no, I'm good. Because you think you're in a relationship right now with a man. And some of you are, don't get me wrong. You think you're in a relationship with a man. The one thing I learned in life is I never know everything. I just know enough. I don't know everything. I just know enough. Why? because you only know enough to keep you in this position and pacify your movement. You don't know everything. There are insurance programs that will give you free money. There are a whole bunch of things. So when you get to the point that you understand, you go, I don't know everything, I just know enough. I increase my enough so that I can know more. I increase my enough so I can know more. There's a passage in the Bible, I think it's Isaiah 54 or 52. It says increase the borders of your tent. Don't increase your tent, increase the borders of your tent, because you know just enough right now. So you have taken information from different places to establish the fact that you have a good relationship, but there's more and you can have a better relationship. There are positions that you really have to submit. You really have to submit. There are positions you really have to submit to. And I mean, where you have to stop trying to know everything. And sometimes you got to be quiet. But there are also positions where you have to be the voice. You got to say something. Eve said something Adam couldn't say. I know, isn't that crazy? Eve said something Adam couldn't say. So if you understand that, you understand that if there's a man in your life, here's the structure of the man. I told you, I got all these different, I've been having teachings on this for years. And now this opportunity for TikTok to come and I can start teaching it. But you have to understand that you are in a position where a man is to give you position, not to command position. He's to show you required position so you can move. Why? Here's the other thing. So I share information with you and you share information with you. Do you share this information with your girlfriends? Do you share it with your daughters? Or do you just simply take the information to yourself because we become selfish? I had to talk to my wife about that. My wife was going, well, baby, you taking care of all these people. What about us? And I said, don't I take care of you? She goes, well, yeah. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Why? Because there is a movement. What is it over there? There's a movement that's going to take place in your life, and you're going to have great things happen. But you need to understand, we got to start making this viral. Information about where men should actually be in our life needs to be viral. We need to be sharing it viral. We need to let the women know, let the girls know. Listen, start dealing with your men at a point where they create structure. Don't deal with them because they create sex. Don't put them back in the primitive network. Don't put them back in the situation where they're looking at you because you have a big butt and you have big breasts. It has to be primitive. It has to be intelligence. He has to be intelligent. Well, how do I do that? With your Instagram. Dress up. Get on your Instagram one time and dress up and be pretty. I don't care how big you are, how small you are. You know how to dress up. Stop dressing to try to be so everything tight. Listen, everything ain't for everybody. Some ladies don't need to have on leggings. I'm a guy, I'm telling you. You don't need to have on leggings. There's certain materials that you should wear. Ladies, if you want your body to be shaped, you wear materials that don't give. You wear materials that shape you. Six sisters, guys. I told you I'm a dad. I'm a dad. You wear materials that are solid. You wear linens. You wear cottons. You wear material. Spandex is not for everybody. If you want your body to look tight, there's certain leggings that hold your body into shape, and they make sure you look shapely. There's certain leggings you hold on. Listen, you do not want cheap materials because cheap materials make you look fat. Look at this. I'm gonna show y'all something. Let me show you something, okay? Let me show you something. I did sew clothes. Now, this is a wide shirt. The reason I have on a wide shirt is because this wide shirt gives my body the shape I need it to be. The arms are not, so they're not tight, but they're big enough that they give me sense. The white also, it promotes my beard. Do something that shows who you are beautifully. Don't do something that shows who you are physically. You follow me? Why? Because you have beauty, sweetie. But if you're in comparison, then you have yourself in a position where you don't know what to do. Find somebody that knows something about fashion. Find somebody that knows something about money. Find somebody that knows something about this. Don't just try to know everything, because you only know enough to sustain you. You just know enough. I'm sorry. You just do. I can ask you things about now. I study quantum physics because it helps me understand spirituality. You just know enough. Yeah. The heck is this on my shirt? See, y'all got stuff on my shirt. How y'all doing? You follow me? And so that's what you have to realize. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take some questions. But guys, unfortunately for us, I can't see the question.